everyone, so this is Nnena back again alone on Ejima, and today I am going to talk about some things I wish I knew before moving to Charlotte, North Carolina. So if you're interested, stay tuned. So it's been about 3 months since I moved here, and you know, with the pandemic and everything going on, I feel like I can give up my viewpoint, but again, it might be just a little skewed because these are not like usual times where I'll be going out more often. So I've observed the environment, you know, I go out here and there, you know, go to the grocery store. Some of these things I'm mentioning are just like basic things. Some of them are things that you may already know, but a few of them are very, very shocking to me. So basically this video, I'm going to be comparing New Jersey to North Carolina. Of course, New Jersey and North Carolina are two huge states. However, I'm in Charlotte, and when I was there, the closest, what I would say, metro area I was close to was Newark. Okay, but I live like in a suburb outside Newark. So just a few differences I've noticed in the past 3 months. So the first major difference I noticed is that the tax is higher in North Carolina. I mean, this is something I noticed even when I visited. I remember I was in Nordstrom, I bought some boots, and then by the time they add the tax, I was like, wait, why am I paying like $10 plus for tax? And I'm just like, I don't recall ever paying tax on clothing in New Jersey. And then come to find out they tax on clothes here. So that was one of the major differences. And even like in general, their tax I think is about 7.25%. And in New Jersey it's lower, and they don't tax on everything. However, the second point I'm about to make, which probably makes up for the tax, is that you hardly see tolls here. Like, you hardly see tolls. Like, we drove to Raleigh 2.5 hours and there was no toll. Like, that can never happen in New Jersey. You can have to get on the highway for 15 minutes or 10 minutes and pay a toll in New Jersey. So I don't know if that like balances out since there's no tolls basically. The third thing I noticed is that they sell alcohol everywhere. Everywhere. Like, I'm so not used to that. Like, literally, you go to CVS, there's alcohol. You go to Whole Foods, there's alcohol. You go to Trader Joe's, there's alcohol. Like, everywhere there's alcohol. So I wouldn't recommend this area for someone that has like struggling, like, you know, like dealing with sobriety, or like struggling from recovering from being an alcoholic, because it's just overwhelming. Like, I don't even drink like that, but it's like everywhere you go, they sell liquor. So that's something I didn't know. Another thing I would say I didn't know was, what I didn't know, I think this one is going to be the most obvious, is that you do pump your own gas here. So that's something I really don't care for. But anyway, that was quick. The next one I would say I really didn't know was that down here is so political. Like, being in New Jersey, I left in August for New Jersey. As soon as I get here, every commercial is Sam Tillis versus this person, Jamie Harris versus this person, this versus this person. I'm just like, what? Like, I'm so not used to that. Like, I'm not even into politics like that in general, but here is like, politics is no joke. Like, every commercial, you're watching YouTube, the ads, everything is so political. Like, Trump came here how many times? Kamala, Biden, how many times? They're in North Carolina. Even right now is election period, and they're waiting to hear about North Carolina. I just didn't realize that it was such a political state, and they are a red state, so maybe that's why, I'm not sure. And then another thing you realize coming down here is guns are allowed, so you can like carry guns. Like, it's very common for people around you to have a gun. So I believe North Carolina is an open carry state. I personally haven't seen anyone walking around with a gun, but I'll double check on that. I know a lot of states in the South in general are open carry, but that's something some people may not feel comfortable with, you know, being in a state where literally anyone can have a gun. Like, on the news, you're always hearing, I've been recently hearing a lot about kids getting shot on accident, like kids finding guns and shooting each other. Like, it's crazy. Another thing I wish I knew before I came here is that it gets cold. It's funny. Like, I came here before in October. I've been here in January, so obviously I know that it gets cold, but I guess I didn't realize that it can get cold. Like, it doesn't snow in the area that I'm in Charlotte. It doesn't snow, I don't believe. But this whole idea that people have, like, oh, it's too hot down south, it's too hot. Oh, I don't want to be somewhere that's too hot. Like, it gets cool. Like, of course, the weather I'm having now is much better than the weather my sister Ngozi, shout out to Ngozi, is currently experiencing in New Jersey. Like, that's obvious. But it gets cold. It's like nice fall weather. In the morning it gets cold, at night it gets cold. Same thing like New Jersey, just the temperatures don't drop as much. Another difference between North Carolina and New Jersey, I would say, is that I feel like people have this idea that like Southern hospitality, Southern people are so friendly, and I guess because they use terms like ma'am, they ask you how you're doing. But in general, I've noticed, I feel like the people are not that friendly. I don't feel like I see a huge difference between me living in New Jersey. I don't know if it's just specific to me. I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong. Because like, especially in my building, like, I noticed the people that are really friendly are the people, like, if you're at a store, like, they go above and beyond. Like, the workers, the concierge, people at my apartment, they're so nice. Like, they go above and beyond. But that's different. Like, they're working. But normal people, you get in the elevator, I'm like, hey. And, like, they'll just be looking at you. So I don't know if it's because, you know, they'll say you're pulling the race card, but you know, we can't ignore race in every facet of our life. Being Black in America, these are things you always have to think about. But I don't know if it's because my building doesn't have that many Black people. So I don't know if it's like when they see me, they're like, oh, you know, like they're shocked. They're like, oh, how did she get here? Or I don't know, like, does she really live here? I don't know. Like, you know, you don't always want to go to race, but when people act weird, and this is repeated, like you'll see people that be, or you just walk, you'll smile, they'll just look at you. Or they'll try to like look away. You know, like when you're trying to like say hi to someone, you try to look at them and that person will be like trying to avoid your eye contact. It's just like, I thought down south everyone was friendly. I thought everyone was all, you know, things that make it seem like everyone is so nice, everyone's so friendly. I personally feel like it's the same like being in New Jersey. Like, I feel like when you see the friendliest, it's more of people that are working and getting paid. So it makes sense. Like, yes, I definitely feel like they're definitely way more friendly. But the normal person, I don't really see it. So one of the last few things I feel like I wish I knew. So because of the tax and because they tax like a lot of things, what I do is like when I go back to New Jersey, I visit like every couple months. I just buy a lot of the stuff that that are expensive or things that, you know, I really need. Even something as simple as like I take some supplements, and when I order it to Charlotte, they tax me. But if I ordered the supplements to New Jersey, I've never been taxed before. Like something as simple as that. So it may sound like these are little things, but it adds up. Like if you're getting taxed $10 here, $5 here, and you're buying like large ticket items, you know, it can add up. So the tax thing was definitely one of the things that was the most that was really, really interesting. So another major difference I would say is that, I mean, again, it's the Corona period. Things are not like how they used to be. But I noticed a few times I've gone, I feel like people don't really dress up like that here. Like, I feel like it's easy to come off as like being overdressed, if that makes sense. Like, remember the time we went to like an outdoor, like a Black-owned outdoor lounge, and like the guys, they were wearing like sweatpants. I'm just like, what is going on? Like, you don't need to wear, I don't expect you to wear like a suit, but like sweatpants. And then like a few guys that came that were very, very dressed up. Obviously they're like in their 50s, they're like grown men. But I thought that was really, or like the girls, you know, like we go out and like girls are like, a lot of girls are like wearing just jeans and sneakers, and like these are like out, like I don't know, I just feel like maybe because I'm in New Jersey, close to New York, like just being a little bit more into fashion, you know, like people actually dress up a little bit more. There's certain places you go, you just feel like you need to be dressed up. But here I definitely feel like it's the opposite. Like, I don't really see people, when I go, the few times I've gone out, I don't see people really dress. Like, the fashion sense is definitely different. And then ultimately, New Jersey, North Carolina, New Jersey, one of the major differences is that here, a lot of driving is required. Like, I don't drive yet, but I've been fine, honestly. Like, because of the location that I live in, I can walk to a lot of places. And then like if I need to go to the airport, I want to be driving anyway. So obviously I call like an Uber, or like once in a while, like I've rented a car like twice, you know. But like literally, like to go somewhere that's 10 minutes, they'll get you on the highway. Go somewhere, like it's so weird. Like you see oh, okay, it's only 8 minutes, but then you get on the highway. So I think that's just something about being down south, period, is that like there's no local ways. For some places, like there's no way you can go there locally. Like it's not possible. You can't, like I feel like New Jersey, yes, they try to get you on the highway a lot. You know, Garden State Parkway, they want their toll money. But like, even if they give me a way that's 30 minutes on the highway, I could use a local route for 35 minutes and avoid highway. You get what I'm saying? Like not even just because of the toll, just sometimes you don't feel like getting on the highway. Like it's physically possible to get to that destination locally. But here it's like a lot of places you want to go to, that's not even a possibility. Like if you don't get on the highway, you're not getting to that location. So yeah, I find that very, very interesting. Yeah, just in general, those are the things. In general, some of the major differences I see between North Carolina and New Jersey. You know, nowhere is perfect. I definitely still do prefer it to New Jersey, just for like a lot. Check out some of my other videos I made about, you know, reasons why you should move to North Carolina, reasons why I personally moved to North Carolina. Lastly, I know a lot of people always think about is the pay. Honestly, the pay isn't as bad as I was expecting it to be, if that makes sense. Like it's lower than New Jersey, but for some reason I felt like it was going to be even lower. I don't know if that makes sense. So it really just depends on the job, depends on the industry you're in, depends on the field you're in. Like obviously working in Charlotte, in the metropolitan city, you're gonna be expected to make more than maybe working like somewhere that's like an hour or two outside of Charlotte in some cases, you know what I mean? Like it really just depends. But the pay isn't bad. Like I have another video about that separately. I don't want to get into that because there's so many like things I want to break down when it comes to cost of living and pay, and you know, yeah, so I have some videos coming up. Took a break from some of the Charlotte content, but it seems like people like it. So let me know in the comment section what else you would like to know about Charlotte in general, or moving to Charlotte, or just in general what type of content you like to see. I know some people have talked about like they would like to like different neighborhoods, so that will be coming up. Also I plan to do like a day in Black-owned Charlotte, so that should be coming up. Just a little bit, you know, some things that I'll be getting my car soon, so I have more like versatility and be able to like move around, and like because I still have a lot of exploring to do as well. I realized coming to Charlotte that I kind of am like a homebody. Like I never, even in New Jersey I was a homebody, but here it's like because you're in a new city, people, it's like you're expected to do things. Everyone's like, oh, go here, go there, but then it's like, am I gonna go to these places all by myself, you know? So yeah, that's another video also too, making friends in a new city. That's interesting as well. But thanks again for watching. It's just some things I wish I knew before moving to Charlotte. Also comparing Charlotte in general, not Charlotte, also comparing North Carolina to New Jersey. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.